I'm getting a sun bath, guys. This is the sun at the morning sunrise. Mm? I'm at Payaka. And how are you all doing? Sipping on my tea. Look at my cup. What my cup saying? What my teacup saying? Mm? And this is 24 years later. You see the teacup? 24 years later with souvenir cups. My son should see me at this. My son, he is totally not knowing what was going on back then because he never bought it. So 1 year before he was born, here you go, April 25th, 1998. Christina Denton, and it's April 25th. It's I learned it was that date was unconsciously set, and I learned that Dennis said it was his birthday. When we looked it up, Dennis is like, "That's my birthday, Chrissy." So all things work miraculously when you have God involved. Yes, God knows where He's taking you, and as I shared with someone this morning, that it's my husband's that took good care of me when my dad died. Yes, I had good partnership, and they were very loving people who convinced me of how much they loved me at the time, and I appreciate it because at that time I was so heartbroken when my dad died. Eating some Crispies with my tea. Green tea. I'm drinking green tea with honey. See, can you see in the cup? I just feel it. But my dogs get very excited when anybody walks near my gates. So it alerts me to look out every time they make up all that noise and barking. I stop and look out to see troubling my dogs who are trying to come through the gate. Draws my attention too. But as I say, I'm basking in the morning sunrise. It's Monday. And it's 7 a.m. And I'm just saying good morning. Inhale and exhale the country air, the sea breeze. Because I'm just actually 2 minutes away from the beach, Broughton Beach. 2-3 minutes away, 5 minutes away, I don't know. Depends on if I'm walking or taking bicycle ride or driving. It's not that far of a distance. So let me breathe in the fresh air and start out my day positively and as healthily as possible, because without my positive mindset, I get flustered. I get flustered through the day and do things that I wouldn't normally do. Yeah? So I have to do that clear mind thinking so I can be focused and equipped in making my wise decisions and choices through the day. So giving you the heads up for the start of the week. All the challenges. Well, sweetheart, when I reflect, to share when I reflect this morning on my journey, since my dad died at 18 years, I have been on a journey of growth and development, how to become wiser and smarter, how to make better choices. My journey was such of mainly studying and caring for my kids, my little babies that I bring into the world. It's hard because most of the time, I was single parenting. But during my journey of single parenting, I still had the support of the people around me, like at my child's school, because at children's school I would participate at St. Peter and Paul Priory. We started off at Montessori Priory, so the teachers, the other parents was like a support group for me. So that was how I coped, you know, because I know a lot of people wonder, how do you do this? How do you get by? But I was blessed enough to have supportive people around me, because even in the schools that I put my children in, other classmates were friends of my husband's, and they were friends of my daughter as well. And as one would share, at times they would say, Chrissy, every time I see you, you look like you have it all together. You always look so confidently, like you have no problems in the world, and you're so perfect. I'm like, really? No, guys. I am not perfect. I don't have it all together. I'm falling apart just as much as you all do. It's just that in the midst of my falling apart, I might have a smile on my face because I laugh a lot, and that is therapeutic for me, because laughing is medicine. It releases certain adrenalines, dopamines and serotonins into your brain to help you to cope. Because if you do not laugh a lot, if you do not laugh at yourself a lot, if you don't find fun and joke in all the seriousness and stresses of life, yes, sweetheart, it will take a toll on you, and you will end up in the psychiatric ward. You will sit down with Dr. Irons, like what I had to do with my kids. And it was such a beautiful experience. I think Dr. Irons was just like my other father I never had, because he always had such a wonderful listening ear, which, I just loved him for, just having that listening ear, because he knows my family from way back, all my family members, siblings, had to spend time with Dr. Irons. They're one of the best Jamaicans, best psychiatrists that we know. A reason being because we've been there, done that, and we still come out standing. And anytime I got him, like, Chrissy, you're good, man. And he's like, you're ready to take on the world, and take on the challenges in it. And, he's such a blessing because he sees us so positive, reassures us so positively to take on the world. Yes, he's like, you guys can do it. I know you can do it. May the Lord. So darlings, yes, Chrissy gets challenges too. And I know it was hard growing kids, especially two at that, and experiencing single parenting. It's one of the hardest journey anyone has or have to do. The grace of God, prayers, and supportive extended family members around just to share a listening ear is still better than nothing at all. Because when you're there and it's you one, and then you have to be keeping everything inside. You're angry and you're boiling, and the temper is boiling and the brain out for bust because you're keeping everything inside, trying to keep it so perfect. Then you're gonna explode one day. You may end up taking it out on the child. And the poor picnic, and you bring the picnic into the world. The child don't even know what trials you're going through because they're so innocent. Remember, a child is a blank state when they're born. Well, not really blank state because it is proven now that they're hearing from inside the mother's womb. So the child is hearing sounds and stuff. When they come out, they have to do that recognition. They recognize what they were hearing in the womb, the voices, the music that the parents used to play when they were in the mommy's tummy, and the voices that was around on the outside. They recognize that. And so they get to form that kind of connection because even if it's an enemy voice that comes around and you get really aggressive with the child inside of you, by the time you stop and the baby born, you stop to come out and the baby born, the baby recognizes that voice to say aggression. Yeah, and the baby might start get aggressive or irritable or rude or something. It's because of that familiarity. So from within the womb, from the day of conception and it's growing, it can hear and it reacts. So the spirit is alive and well and thriving from inside the womb. So when the babies come out, be kind, be kind and be gentle and teach them how to, how to live this special gift of life in the best way they can, which is do what you can do. You can attempt doing things, try to do things, but sweetheart, and everything cut out for everybody to do. And some things you might see some people doing easier than what you want to do or what you intend to do or things that you attempted to do. And that does not because you can't do it, because you attempt to do something that your friend is doing or somebody you see is doing and you can't do it. Nah. The whole point is that you tried it. You tried it to feel what it felt like, and you're like, you get to know yourself better because you can say, I don't like that, or I like that, or I can do that. Let me practice it more to master it because I like that, right? So finding yourself during the journey of living the life, this gift of life that is given unto you to live. So sweetie pies, enjoy your parenting because it with every child it is a once in a lifetime experience because each child is different. It's a different approach. You see, when I was doing it, I didn't complain. It was not for me to complain because it was my decision. Maybe if it was somebody who told me, okay, Chrissy, this is the time you have to go have kids now. Or, she said, age will catch up on you, you get old, you need to go have baby, or pressured you to do it. Then you would have reason to complain to another person to say, you make me do this and it is so hard and I'm this and whatever. But when it is your decision to become a parent, the approach is different. Beating you're getting from the kids is like you just have to swallow it and then find another avenue where you can release that pent up, because you can't hurt the child. You're not going to hurt the child. You're going to go end up in prison, or you're going to lose your child. So the most you can do is gently remind yourself, this is my choice. What is happening here with the child? Take a deep breath. Think if the child needs a countdown, like a 10-second countdown, because children do sometimes need a timeout. You have to have a timeout corner to put them in, a 10-second countdown to say, okay, you're having an issue. I have seen this episode with Malcolm parenting his nephew, 19-year-old young adult, and he took his young adult to meet his bully, his childhood bully. And his young adult nephew was very, agitated, didn't want to do this and whatever. But eventually he decided, I'm going to face of Malcolm, because he was so anxious and irritated. And as the young man said to his bully, why you picked on me? Why were you picking on me so much in school? It's just so unfair. You messed up my childhood. And the bully had no explanation other than he wanted to just apologize. He wanted to say sorry to him. When the bully tried to explain having problems at home, was to go to school and pick on Marco, pick on another little boy that he felt he should pick on. But that's his logic as a child bully, because in his home, his father and mother were being abusive to each other, because one was drug addict or alcoholic, and alcoholism took over the family, and he had to come in and see his father beat his mother, and the drugs and the whole abuse taken out on him as well, and he couldn't do anything about it. That the child came to school and beat up on Marco. So all Marco trying to tell him, or trying to ask him in the confrontation, why? I can't see that logic. Why would you come to school to beat me up? The bully couldn't even see that logic either. But other than it made him feel better when he beat up Marco. So I suppose it's a transference of act when he is feeling that pain of what is happening in his home, and then he goes out and he's not thinking if Marco is having it hard to in his home, or anything. He just looks for somebody looking more easy to bully that won't fight him back, and I'm gonna bully him too, which is a whole kind of spiritual explanation if the teachers were paying attention to realize that something is happening in that child's house, where if that child coming to school and bullying people, that child is in a bully situation. Why the child would be a bully to others? So people, pay attention to your kids, pay attention to when they're being bullied, and some kids sometimes are scared to even talk because they think they're going to be considered informers, and that might make the bullies more pick on them. Well, you as a parent, you have to practically helicopter your kids if you're going to keep them safe from the abuse of bigger kids or kids who are having serious problems, and it's tougher, and you don't want your kids to be hurt, so you have to pay attention to what is happening. And if you can even attend school now and again, and be close to your kids, talk to your kids and hear what they're undergoing, and take control of your family. It's your family. And as I said, each person is in charge of their own family because it's your decision to bring children in the world. Right? If it's your decision to bring children in the world. And even if it's other people pressure you to do it, it's still your family. So you brought those children into the world. The children did not ask to be born. Is you bring them come. So whatever it is you're faced with, whatever it is, challenges they're putting you through, try and figure out how best to understand. And if you can't understand, pray about it. God answer prayers. And God is good. Just keep to the prayers and have a wonderful day now. Have a beautiful Monday because it's Monday. And it's the beginning of the work week. It's don't like because they have to get back to work. But that's the fun part of life. We get back into that structure of things, and isn't it beautiful? I just love it. When you have things they're being boring and nothing to do, don't take on no challenges of life, nothing new to experience. It's like you're not living. Yeah? And that's what living is. Living is doing things, finding things to do, bringing up little challenges, giving yourself little challenges. That is living. Yeah? So continue enjoying your beautiful, beautiful Monday morning wherever you are. Mine down here in West is beautiful. I feel like going to the beach. Every day is a beach day down in Westmoreland. Once there's sunshine, we say, yes, go to the beach. Now you see when the white people they love down here, so it's always a beach day. But as I'm saying, it's a beautiful day. So if you have work to do, go to work. Yes, don't get caught up in by little ideas of go to the beach. Don't let me distract you and mess up your brain. Keep the focus on your make money. I've been working from the 18, from we finished high school, we got into working. So it's time for me to retire. As I tell them, said, no, not ready to retire yet. Them say it's when you're 60 and 70, you retire. And I don't reach 60 yet. So I'm hanging in there to still put in some little work efforts, But I'm still on the verge of, because I have adult kids, I have grandchildren. So from you start having grandchildren, say you're on the verge of retirement. You're supposed to start. What does the retirees do? Enjoy life. Yeah? Because we've done that. Been there, done that, experience what it is, and it is a journey. It's not the end of the world. It's the beginning of a new chapter in life. Yeah? Which is a time where you take to spend time with you, to do all the things that you didn't get to do because you were all bogged down having kids. Yeah, when you have kids, you can't do as you like, because you have to make sure they have babysitter all the time. You have to make sure them going to school to get that education. You have to make sure proper roof over their head, foods to eat, and things necessarily for them to function in everyday life like the other kids are. So basically, you're tied. It's like an imprisonment to doing what things that you may not even have expected would have come up to do. But that is what comes with having children, right? So it's like you've been tied 16, 17, 18 years of your life. Because some children release their parents from early because they're practically young, they have young child stars and pros when they're young. They have such gifts and talents that they're born with and develop that them start earning from early, so the parents get a little leadway because them can say, all right, keep my child for me, because them have that work to do, managers and whatever, if you are not the mamager, right, or the papager. You have the time to say, well, let the child do their work to earn for the family, because that's just how some families are, where the child is end up being the breadwinner and the parent just oversee. But at the same time, you still have to see to it that your child is kept safe in whatever journey they are going through. So you're still not totally free until the child is grown to make their own decision. And by the time the child makes their own decision as an adult, the child might even say, all right, I don't even want you as my mom no more, or I don't want you as my, because I think I can handle myself on my own. So no matter what circumstances it is, we the parents, until they are become an adult, 18 and 21 and those ages, because our kids sometimes will call on us regularly for advice, or see if they're doing things properly, or even for help and support in whatever challenge. And it's your job as a parent to make sure that your kids stay safe, because if you make your picnic drop dead and hurt themselves, it's you to blame, because it's your responsibility, and you're supposed to pay attention to see where your child is doing something wrong or is getting themselves, hey baby, don't do that, or let me come with you, or let me give you that little guidance and help where possible, or you put down your foot, do not do that. Well, to hell, they might not listen to you, but at least you said, do not do that. Because you can't go spank them and beat them. And that's against the law to even do that. But the most you can do is, no, don't do that. When you look them, as you shut up your eye, them sneak away. But what you're going to do, at least you were putting down your foot, and your child knows that you, the parent, said, do not do that. Yeah? So when the child knows that they're in the wrong, they try to cooperate better when push comes. They try to cooperate with the parent a little better, because they know that you was telling them, don't do that one. Why you doing that one? Where you go? Where But if it happens, then you still have to be there for your child, because it's your child. It's your child, and that's what it calls you. That's where it pulls you to do whatever they're into, or whatever they're doing. So you just have to overlook them, helicopter them through the process of their development, and hope and pray to God say they come out alive and well and triumphant. Yeah? So always keep saying your prayers, because God is good and God listens, and God is the maker of all things and everyone. So once you call on to Him and say, thank you, Lord, thank you for your love, and I appreciate you, and I'm grateful, He'll continue to bless you. So have a wonderful day now, people.